Champion select ready to go though, gents. We're going to hop straight into that one. Yay, so Axeman, what do we got?
So far, what do we got here? I'm seeing the Nico ban come through, so that will stay banned for the time being. You also have Yumi taken away from Seos here as well. That is Aphelios locked in. Root will not have that. I believe that's the first time so far in the league he's not able to play the Aphelios.
Definitely not going to get the Aphelios this time around. Played it in Loud's second game last weekend, and honestly looked pretty good on it. 4-1-3 through about 20 to 22 minutes in that game and was looking solid on it. It was the Varus from him on day one.
That's right, the Varus.
I wasn't particularly impressed with. I know you kind of felt the same on that one, Axeman, so we'll have to see what Root gets here, because if you go back to game one last weekend, Payne invested a lot of those early draft resources to put Root on a pick he wasn't necessarily comfortable with. There's some more openings, though, here this time around. The Zaya is available, and that might be what he leans towards, but it is Aphelios and Annie first rotation for Red.
Zaya's great here. I think the Jinx pretty good, too. Zyra Khan getting insta-lock coming through.
I love that.
Root and Seos. Really love to see that synergy coming through from the boys. Locking in those big champions there. Annie locked in for Envy as well. Going to be able to support the bottom side. Now we're looking for a big support to accompany Titan down the bot side. Frosty looking for a big playmaking carry. We've seen him on the Enchanters so far. I'm thinking you got to bring out something spicy you want to take down Loud. Oh, the Kindred.
Yep. I love this, right? We saw this from Goot last weekend, and we talked so much last weekend, X-Men, about the prevalence of the Trinity Force. It's so strong right now, and the Kindred is certainly one of those picks in the jungle that can pick that up and be very, very strong. So keep an eye on Aegis this time around. I'm very curious to see if Loud focuses towards Frosty's champion pool here. The Milio already off the table. If they want to take off more Enchanters, they can knock off the Lulu. The Yumi already banned, so they might force Frosty onto a little something different here today. We'll have to keep an eye on that. There is the Lulu cropping up right off the bat from Loud.
Oh yeah, taking the Lulu away. Yumi already off the table. Milio already off the table. What will Frosty be forced back onto? I think it goes back to what I was saying. It's got to be a playmaking, carry support type deal. Maybe the Nautilus here coming through with the CC and helping the team out. But yeah, love the double marksman, love the Kindred adaptation. Lamb's Respite is so important in these team fights, as we've seen from last week. If you can use those abilities effectively, you can really change the course of the game. They're banning out my boy Robo. Holy cow, no Renekton, no Olaf, nothing for him. FB, this has got to be the Gragas move. I'm thinking R4.
Yeah, I don't blame them here. And Gragas is an important pick to highlight. It is the premier flex pick right now, at least in the CBLOL. Very high prevalence. We have seen it in both mid and top lane. Of course, you can't talk about Annie, but we really haven't seen anybody throwing that down to support. And I would be surprised, though they certainly could give it to Frosty here if they really want to throw a wrinkle in Champion Select. The last ban from Loud is the Gwen, and it's going to be the Renata here. So still finding an Enchanter, but with some solid engage potential with the ultimate from Frosty.
Certainly, and it makes it very difficult to engage as well into this Renata Glass and get into melee range as well. That really limits the options for Loud. They're going to lock in Aurelion Soul, and they'll bring it up with a top laner. Come on, 10 ounce, give us the carry, man.
Come on.
Lock it in. He's going to lock this one in. It calls back to the Jace pick, right? It calls back to the Jace pick from last week when 10 ounce decided, hey, you know what? I can carry this one. Give me the damage. This is what I'm reading from this Aurelion Soul as well. He wants to take control of this game and be able to force himself on the rest of the map.
I am very excited to see this Aurelion Soul. Okay, confirmed, locked in there, had a little bug.
You locked it in. Gotcha.
With the Champ Select overlay. And they're going a big beefcake there for Robo in the top side. They've got the Ornn, so wonderful engage potential here. The one thing I will note on Rev, and I do want to correct myself on that Renata pick, not really primary engage that you get from the Renata ultimate. It is that kind of secondary engage as well as the disengage that it gives you. And they were lacking a little bit in that department. It was really just the Tibbers to start fights, but picking up that Gragas there for FNB at the end rounds that comp out a little bit nicer. And very interesting that they didn't want to take the Gragas for Robo, because Gragas is one of those premier counter picks into Kindred, right? You throw the cask right into the middle of the Lance Respite, and then you can knock everybody out of that healing and protection. So an interesting choice there from Loud. But there are your compositions. Axman, talk to me. What's your read here coming out of Champions Select for these two teams?
When we were prepping for this game, Yeso, and I know we said we weren't going to say this, but I have to bring it up now. We were saying the worst thing that could happen to the CBLOL as a league was if this game to go to 45 minutes and then to just end on a random coin flip. These are two of the best teams, maybe the best teams in the CBLOL, and we need to see them be able to close games out effectively. I think Loud, this composition, how it reads to me, Yeso, this reads, hey, we're going to a 55-minute banger, and we want to have the biggest guns, right, at that point of the game, and that's what they have drafted for themselves. They got the Xayah super late game, the Aurelion Soul Infinite Scaling super late game, the Ornn, those big Ornn items coming through in the late game. They drafted for that 50-minute time mark, and that's what they're expecting here.
I'm here for it. I got to bring Rude in here before we jump into the game, just to get his final read on this champion. So like, get in here, Rude.
Again, Axe, you hit the nail on the head. We've got the return of Aurelion Soul, the super scaling infinite time bomb that is in the mid lane. These two organizations with multiple CBLOL titles between them. Yes, they come into this game at opposite ends of the standings, but Loud really do not need an introduction. They are your back-to-back champions coming in to try and defend their title. Round number 3, match 2 is on the Rift.
Oh, man. If you had told me coming into week 2 that we would have a matchup between one of the teams in first place, one of the teams in last place, and they would be Red and Loud, I would have told you you were crazy. Of course, Loud coming off of back-to-back CBLOL titles and trying to avoid going 0-3 here today up against Red Canids. They don't want to hit that panic button. We'll have to see if they can get it done here today. Love their draft. Tinones on this Aurelion Soul should be very, very spicy, so keep an eye on him. Early invade here from Croc, trying to maybe get some vision there onto Aegis. We'll spot him up by his red buff, drop a ward over there, and Robo will just go back to the dance party in River.
All right, we're still having technical issues, but as long as you can hear me,
hey,
I think we're good. Yeah, that's all I need, man. It's just you. Little level 1 shenanigans going on. Nobody takes too much damage, though, so we'll be just fine moving into the second minute of this game. Everyone's lined up. Yeso, you know this is going to be a long one, buddy. Buckle up. Hope you brought snacks, because we're going to be here for at least 1 calendar hour. Tinones opens up things in the mid lane, hitting Envy, and there's going to be a lot of that going on.
Yeah, my eyes, certainly through these first 10 to 15 minutes, going to be very much on the top side of the map from Loud. As you and I were doing prep for this game, it felt pretty clear that we were happy with what we saw from Root and Seos in week 1. We weren't a huge fan of the Varus pick, but overall the play looked good, and they showed up strong in both games. It was really just a lot of question marks, whether in Champion Select or in game, for Robo, Croc, and Tinones. And we'll have to see how things shake out there. A little bit of an early engage there from Seos. Grand entrance onto Frosty, but nothing really going here. No real threat. Level 1 for both of these bottom lanes.
Yeah, Zyricon level 1 isn't super good. That level 2, it's pretty hard, though. So they'll back up in the lane, wait for things to bounce back for themselves, and then hope to farm up a little bit as well. We're going to have that camera up top lane quite a bit for you this game. These two guys like to fight, and they are on hyper tanks up there as well. So they're going to be some big boys as we push later into this game. Watch the jungle track. You see Vi pathing towards the bot side of your screen now, going 5 camp, potentially into the gank.
Yeah, early flash there forced out from Tinones. It just gets into the middle lane.
Playing with fire now.
A little bit more damage, but has to back off, and Aegis can move down to the bot side river. I mean, if I'm Robo here, Axman, I'm just hoping that, you know, Red Canids don't make me have flashbacks to week 1, because that Wiser Gragas was bullying.
Come on, Croc.
In that first game. Meanwhile, Croc trying to get out of trouble. It's the first
just
gank
down,
out of the
just like that.
lane, and it's first blood for Aegis.
Really nicely done from Aegis, able to punish mispositioning there from Croc. Unfortunate opening. So a game that Loud really needed to win, right? At first blood going down to Kindred. The other Kindred we got to see last week, it went about the same way, right? Kindred able to pull away there in the early game, really start to snowball. And suddenly you have 2 marksmen you have to worry about where before you only had 1. Not a good position to be in for Loud.
Yeah, and I mean, we know how it goes with the Kindred. That first mark is always on that enemy jungler. You're trying to see if maybe you can catch them on a scuttle crab or get a bit of a counter gank to get that Kindred rolling, and exactly that here. And honestly, I'm not happy there from Croc. You knew exactly where Aegis was on the map. Aegis had just showed and applied pressure to Tinones in the mid lane, and while you maybe don't know that Red has that ward, you have directly placed yourself between the jungler and their bottom lane that already has priority in the lane. So Croc got to sort some things out here early. He is going to get into the mid lane, try to get onto Envy. Envy going to sidestep that first Q from Croc and be able to get out of trouble. A lot of damage though. That breath from Tinodes shredding through the red Canids health bars.
Yeah, really laser beaming him down. Not a good feeling, but Aegis will rotate out. Here's the all-in.
Beautiful root here. Titan's in trouble. He's burning down, and the Renata passive will not save him. That is a first kill for Loud in this game. It's going to go over to Seos.
Yeah, right over to Seos this go around. Plenty of gold in the pockets of the Loud bot lane now. Taking down Titan Flash.
Oh, big trouble here. Stun there onto Tinodes. Tinodes is just going to try and trade. It's not going to be enough. That's a second stack for Aegis' Kindred.
Aegis with 2 marks now. Actually, count of 3 marks I'm seeing. Little fight topside.
Let's go again, X-Men. FNB with the flash. Maybe gets away here. Aegis is on the way to support. Would be the 2v2. FNB down to about a third of his health. Will get out of trouble. A lot of action. The junglers getting things going in these first 5 minutes.
Back to Aegis with the marks. If this Kindred could hit even 4 marks at like 7 minutes, yeah, so that would be huge for the snowball, right? And that's a conversation we're going to have moving forward here is you got to put this Aegis, got to put this Kindred in the ground at some point if you want to have a hope to win this game. Seo's trying to set up some vision, trying to establish some semblance of control, and it's just not happening so far. Yeso, there's just nothing they can do to stop the Kindred. It's on the reset. It's going to come back in with the Sheen and the Hearthbound axe. That's so much damage.
This is going to be a problem for Loud. The more that Aegis is free to move around the map, he's really going to start to cause issues here. Tibbers down onto Tinodes. He's going to have to jump over that wall. Will get out of trouble, but is going to have to recall and doesn't have teleport. So this is going to be Envy very easily able to crash this wave and deny possibly a full wave or more of CS with Tinodes. Meanwhile, down to the bottom lane, Aegis getting down here. Seos in with the grand entrance, able to battle dance back to Croc in their back pocket by this tri-brush. But I don't know that they want this 3v3 right now, Axeman. Let's see what happens here. Aegis going to walk through, try Croc here for the support. If the dive comes through, got some help. They're going to back away. Yeah,
no wave, no dive, unfortunately, yeah, so they'll have to back off for the time being. I'm thinking dragon play here. You get the Annie to rotate over, just 4-man onto the dragon, but you need some resets, I would believe. No, they're going to wait it out, try to catch somebody on the rotation, but they won't. And yeah, now they're going to start up that dragon. Play it nice and slow, Yeso, nice and disciplined here as well. Really good stuff. You like to see this if you're a Red coach.
You do. And Loud, what you're leaning on right now is that the 2v2 has been solid, right? Root and Seos have gotten a kill in the 2v2. They're holding their own, essentially dead even in CS. It's just whenever anybody else shows up to this lane, things start to go wrong. And of course, this early pressure from Aegis towards the bottom side does get them that first strike. It's going to be Cloud in the pocket of the Red Canids here at 7 minutes. Flash away from Seos. Big trouble, and isn't going to be able to escape. That's Titan grabbing his first kill of the game. Now Aegis may be looking for the dive here. They're going to be able to crash. No wave. There is no wave here for Red, but they're going to cancel the back. Root is in trouble, needs some help, and needs Seos to get here as quickly as possible. Aegis has been able to cut the wave. Root going to be able to back away, possibly to the safety of his tier 2 tower, and will escape from danger.
Yeah, Aegis backing away. Doesn't have the ult for the time being. He's a little worried what the Featherstorm might do to him there. Meanwhile, flip side of the map, Croc taking down the Rift Herald in answer, and in stark contrast The Aegis' dragon. Still looking for that dive down bot side. The mana's running thin here, Yeso.
Important to note, Aegis not level 6 yet, so Lancer Spite to get a bit of a reset on that tower isn't available, so it is a little risky, but Envy has moved down here, and Loud should have this information. And they're probably they know that Envy is here, so you really shouldn't step forward because you should be terrified of a bear getting dropped on Root's head.
Yeah, you don't want to get Tibbers. Do not get Tibbers if you can avoid getting Tibbers. Aegis going to back off, and they'll leave the dive there. All members of Loud alive for the time being. A nice little gold lead for Red accumulated so far. Little nest egg they can sit on until the late game rolls around. I do think they have to end this one out sooner rather than later, but that's a late game we're talking about. We're talking 40 minutes from now.
Okay, well, let's take stock here. 9 minutes in. Red looking solid. Aegis very active on the map. But Axeman, talk to me about Loud. We were concerned around the top side of the map, but confident that we would see the same route and Seos that we saw last weekend. So for Robo and Croc and Tinones, where are you at from their first 9.5 minutes of this game?
What I'll say for Loud is that this is how good teams win League of Legends games when they're trying to beat bad teams, right? You draft for the late, you just kind of let the enemy team beat themselves, and you make sure that you have those scaling options on your side. We're talking about solo lanes from Loud right now. They haven't made too many egregious errors, right? Tinones died once to a little gank from Aegis, but other than that, pretty solid so far. Just trying to scale up, just trying to make it to those late game team fights, and they're getting there so far. Nothing too cataclysmic.
Okay, so Loud in an okay spot. Eyes definitely going to be on Tinones and Root as this game goes later. Aegis up to this top side will clear out Krugs and maybe looking for a little something here onto Robo, but pings towards this bot side river is going to take that Scuttle Crab, just secure a little bit more information here on the top side. And FMB very safe early on, essentially dead even in CS in this top lane, but this Gragas is big chillin', not really going to be able to kill Born in the 1v1, so he's just farming away.
Yeah, he's just farming away for the time being. Rifthill drop down bot side. Oh, big flash comes through.
Yeah, Engage coming through from Seos, trying to get onto Titan here. They're diving deep in between these towers, but Titan's gonna survive. They take them both out, Croc and Seos fall.
Beautiful there. That Rift Herald not gonna take down the turret either. Disastrous there for Loud, trying to get on the Titan. They're just not able to get there in time. Croc unsuccessful on the buy, and we just saw Yampy with it, so it's not the champion. That's a tough move from Croc.
Oh man, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, Axton, but I feel like that's just Loud panicking a little bit when they really didn't need to. You've dropped Herald in the bot lane. You're going to secure some gold from it. I feel like you just push Frosty and Titan off the tower and you take the play to cut your losses here, but it's the dash flash ult in, Seos with the follow, and then it all goes wrong.
Yeah, and we talk about follow. This is a Rakan following up, right? I mean, we are Turbo Omega Oompa Loompa diving Titan down 2 turrets, and there's no damage with us, man. What are we trying to do here? Some of us are barely level 8. Come on now.
Yeah,
6. Not level 8.
As soon as
numbers
Titan
are small,
didn't die immediately after the ult, it was problem territory for Loud. Now, Frosty and Aegis getting in the back. It is the teleport from Robo on the flank, trying to get on Titan. Flashes in to try and finish him off, but Laser's right, gotta keep him alive. Good job from Aegis here. Robo taking a lot of damage. There's Seos in to follow up, and Croc has arrived here too. Titan is down, huge shutdown there for Root. Aegis trying to get to the safety of the tower, but it isn't gonna last long. No Lancer Spite available this time. That's another shutdown. This one going to Croc, and finally, Loud find their play.
Okay, so this is the first time in Split 2 that I have seen the Loud I know. Robo, Croc, Tinones all finally bringing it for a little play down bot side. They're even in gold. And for the first time this summer, things are looking kind of okay for Loud.
At least the mantra of this early game is, if at first you don't succeed, try again. It's the dive here onto Titans, and it all starts with the teleport flank from Robo.
Yeah, it's your Coca-Cola pop-off. Big ultimate from Robo knocks him up. Big plays from Robo. The W gonna deal the damage. Lamb's respite keeps them alive for a little bit, but it's not enough. They pick Titan. They get away with it too here. Diving the turret for Aegis, going to pick up a second kill on the way out as well. Incredible play from Loud.
I don't know what my favorite part of that play is, Axe, and the follow-up from the rest of Loud as Robo was able to contain Aegis and Titan, or the white flag that Titan waves in the middle of getting put in the bounce house by the entire Loud lineup.
Oh yeah, no, just absolutely locked down there. Teleport from Robo there, truly inspired as well. Getting behind, you see Loud playing hard around top side, gonna really shut FMB out of the game as well. Take down his turret in its entirety right before that 14-minute mark.
Important to note that tower is going to come through from Red in the bottom lane, and very key to point out that Red does pick up that Hextech Drake after the fight win for Loud. Not enough on the health bars there for them to continue to take that neutral objective, so Red on 2 Drakes right now. So we are 4 minutes away from very likely Loud, I would imagine, trying to contest at this next Drake. They don't want to get Red at Soul Point and have to deal with that very implicit timer. So keep an eye on how Loud try to set up vision on that bottom half of the map as we approach that Drake. But right now, eyes on this second Rift.
Oh yeah.
Loud secured the first one. It parlayed them into that first early bad dive in the bottom lane. We'll see what they can do with this one. They're going to get priority on it. Looks like Red doesn't care. They want to try and secure maybe some more plates on, or not plates, I should say, but maybe just this entire mid lane tier 1, but they're going to have to back away. Loud's here to respond.
Yeah, no room for a response there. Loud are going to take that down uncontested. Red losing control over the map. Certainly lost control over the top side of the map. You see FMB pushing out pretty deep. He feels he has the escape tools. Actually, we'll pan up top here a little bit. See if he's able to make it out of this one.
He's going to run, but we're going to get an engagement in the mid lane. Lot of CC there onto Robo, who cannot run away. They're going to try and chase him down. Robo's going to get taken out. That's Aegis with another kill. Now up to the top side. It's Croc and Tino's on an F&B, but the teleport here to assist. It's the 2v2 flash over the wall, gets FMB out of trouble. And Envy, big threat there onto Tino's, but he's going to get out for the time being. Maybe FMB goes for the chase. It's 2 separate 1v1s here, and that might be Croc over-indexing onto Envy. That's going to be Titan sliding in for the quick kill, and Tino's able to get away, but it doesn't much matter. Red, turn it around.
Yeah, Loud takes some, they give some away too there as well, right? Red with a nice little rotation, nice teleport from Envy. Oh my goodness. Did you see the Annie damage? That was incredible. That's why all the numbers are skewed when you look at the statistics. Teleport in, this time from FMB, down to the bot lane to match up Robo. He is soaking up all of this CS. The most CS in the game right now is on the Gragas. That's a big boy.
Yeah, Croc. I feel like the story of this early game has been Croc just being way too greedy. As soon as Tino's is backing out of this fight, you forced FMB to back. I feel like you should walk away because you spend so much time in this top lane, and we'll watch it sped up. The rotation is on its way, and Croc is in trouble.
Yeah, it's just a top-notch play, man. FMB barely surviving that, just a little bit of healing coming through, and he'll be just fine. That's a killer replay. Thank you for highlighting that. We'll get back into live here. Both sides trying to control the middle lane. This is where all the turrets are. So they'll fight over them in kind. Dragon coming up in just over a minute. That'll be the next objective to fight over. Titans on red, white gun's going to try to hold on to those for a little bit here.
Both AD carries with their first item in tow. It is the Gale Force. Give a little more mobility there for Titan. Kraken Slayer on the side of Root, and now dropping this Rift Herald in the mid lane. This is going to be Loud securing their second tower. They're going to get this mid lane tier 1, and hopefully, if you're Loud right now, 30 seconds until that Drake that I mentioned, maybe this gives you the inroads to stop that Drake stacking from Red. We'll see how Red wants to respond to this play. FNB is here. It's all 10 players in and around this mid lane. Red may force them to trade for this mid lane tier 1. Does Loud want to go for it? Looks like they might want the fight. They're going to get spotted on that ward just on the other side of the Raptor pit. A little bit of a root there on the FNB. He's going to be just fine.
You sure will. They angle continuously around each other. Look out for the Ornn ult. Will be the big engage tool.
Yeah, it's going to be the Ornn ult and the cast from FNB. Here comes the Ornn ult, looking for the priority targets. He's just going to isolate one there. Lancer Spite's going to come through, and it's going to keep Envy alive for the time being. Meanwhile, Canids taking a lot of damage there from the Timbers, but Envy is down. What else can they do? Root's still alive, firing away. Sail's going to fall. That's a dash in for Titan. That is that Gale Force coming in clutch. It's a double kill for the Red Canids AD carry. A huge 3-for-1 trade in favor of Red.
A beauty for Titan. They're going to rotate onto the Dragon as well. Further Dragon control for Red. And what control it has been so far. This is their third Dragon after the team fight. And really nice engage. I mean, Loud had everything going for them there with the big team fight ultimates at the top of the fight. But in spite of it all, Red are able to dodge the abilities, able to dodge the damage, and attack where it hurts. Look at this big Ornn ultimate to start out the fight. It looks so damning right at the top. Look at this thing. Yeah, big lockdown on that central target. So Lamb's Respite that's able to save Envy there for a little bit, allow them to get their full combo down. And that's all you got to do, is Annie, is get your combo down. After that, Titan is able to supply the sustained damage to priority targets. Yeah, there you go.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's always going to have something to say when he's making a big play. 5,
well done,
2, and 4 on this Aphelios. And look, this is really tough for Loud because you really have to isolate those priority targets because Red has multiple tools to keep people alive. You've got the ultimate from Aegis. You've got the passive from Frosty to keep people up, keep people putting out DPS. So you really either need to deal with that, with the jungler early on, or you just need to be able to slow these fights down a little bit, pull out those cooldowns, and then go from there. Got to keep an eye on what they can do to deal with this Kindred. That's going to be a beautiful cast to cancel the ultimate there for Robo. No hard CC from him there. They will take out Tibbers and back away. Meanwhile, Minions in that mid lane, working on that mid lane tier 2. It is going to fall. That is very big here from Loud. They're going to have to back away, but maybe a little bit more damage there on the Robo. They'll be able to retreat to the safety of this tier 1, but something tells me Red's going to have their eyes set on this Baron very soon.
Certainly, yeah, so they got the Aurelion Soul on the sideline, trying to scale him up as well. Might be the fight here over the turret. Titan's going to step up. Big damage!
He's in big trouble. Sails goes in, but instantly gets the lead, and the ultimate for the Renata absolutely melts through the lineup of Loud. Tenno's here just a little bit too late. Titan is down. Very key there for Loud, but still able to get a double kill before he drops.
Yeah, beautiful play there. Tenno's at the teleport trying to save the team, but he's not going to be able to get there in time. Red continue to control the map, and it'll get them this Baron. Will there be a steal? Croc is alive. He's got a way over the wall. Yeah, so it's going to be tight. Call it.
Envy is over here. That's going to be the dash into the brush. Huge catch. Cast catches Tennos and Croc, and a lot of damage coming out from Tennos, but Croc is already down. It's a double kill from Aegis. Another mark. They stall the Baron, but Loud continues to bleed.
No Baron for you. Croc will go down. Tenno's down as well. Next Dragon up in just over 2 minutes. And then we'll get up to our old tricks again, fighting over objectives. I'm thinking it's going to be another Baron fight sooner rather than later. Aegis will clear up the bot side camps. Biggest thing to watch, any given team fight's got to be that Ornn primary engage, right? Watch that ultimate, watch the disengage from FMB, and then of course the Lamb's Respite as well. The big gold circle in the middle of your screen. Here's Robo, he's going to try to live.
Yeah, he's going to have a hard time here. He is boxed in by Aegis, FND, and Frosty, maybe looking to get over the wall, but is not going to escape, isn't even willing to spend his flash, and I think that's the right choice there. Aegis comboing with FNB there, who picks up the kill, and Loud, they're in trouble. Look, a 3K gold lead, Axeman, not insurmountable at 23 minutes, but Loud just can't seem to find the right play. It is just that second dive bottom lane that has gone right from them. Everything else has been a struggle.
Make no mistake as well, so I still think this game goes late. I still think we see that 50-minute game. I don't see Red closing things out anytime soon. They weren't successful taking down the Baron. They did get slowed up a little bit. I'm expecting a lot more of those plays coming up soon. I don't even know if they'll get this next big dragon. I think that's going to be a big step forward for them if they're able to secure that advantage and force that down the middle lane and onto the Nexus. But yeah, I mean, even in this next dragon, we've seen this get taken away more often than not so far in the league.
Yeah, it is important to note that against Furia last week, Red did struggle a little bit to close out that game, and they were in a stronger position than they are in this one through 24 minutes, so keep an eye on that. Also important to note that Loud, even as far down as they were against Kane on day one, they were able to bring that game back and make it much, much more interesting in the late game. So Loud can fight back from a deficit, but the more it grows, the steeper that climb will be. Drake is up. This is Chemtech Soul, and it looks like Loud don't even think that they can contest for this. They don't feel strong enough at this point. Titan is just going to be able to solo it, and that is Hex Tech Soul for Red Canids. And now the focus shifts to the Baron.
It shifts right back, right? Watch that primary engage. Robo, all they were talking about, Croc over the wall.
Oh, there is Croc, and is going to be able to get onto Envy, and Envy's going to go gold. Ultimate comes through there for Frosty. What can they do? Croc running for the hills, will survive for the time being. Huge ultimate there from Tino, and that's low health bars for the side of Red. How long can they stall? Robo flashes away, a lot of damage onto him, and somehow everybody survives, though not unscathed, Axeman.
Everybody breaks apart, goes their separate ways. Just that dragon down for Red. That's the first step, right? It's a big step, but the first of many that need to happen for Red to close out this game. They need to stop Loud from taking this Baron. Loud's taking it down pretty quick. You need to get on this.
It really feels like the key for Loud is to find fights or make plays when the Lamb's Respite is on cooldown. You know it is there, so you have maybe a bit of an opening here to try and sneak this Baron into 2,500 health. They're going to get spotted now, but it might be too little too late. That is Baron secured for Loud. Can they get out of this fight?
Wow.
Over the wall, and somehow Loud sneak a Baron at 25 minutes. Meanwhile, Robo is likely going to go down here. Teleport coming in from Envy to secure this one. Titan has arrived as well. Good night, Robo.
Good night, Robo. It's one step forward for the Red Canids and 2 steps back for the Red Canids. Croc takes down FFB.
Yeah, Tino's on his way up here as well. Uses the teleport, and FMB is going to fall. So this is going to be a nice little infusion of gold. That's another shutdown over to Tino's, who's starting to become a serious problem on this Aurelian Soul. So Loud, bit by bit, falling back in this game.
It might just be a bank account dip at the end of this one. Yeah, so Tino's with the gold in hand now. All those shutdowns going directly into his pockets, but yeah, Red, I mean, it's a big power play coming through for Loud. I don't know if Red are going to be able to close out in any real amount of time. I think we're going 40, 50 minutes, man. I know we said it before. I got to say it again. It's going to be a long one. Strap in. Titan's going to have red white guns here in just a little bit. They'll be able to team fight, and it will be control of the map. Rested back over to Red, who now just have over a 2K gold lead.
For the folks at home, that little blue blip you see, you might have to squint a little bit to see it. That's the second dive bottom lane that actually went well for the side of Loud when they were able to catch out Titan and Aegis, get 2 very key early kills. But other than that, it's been all Red in this game. That shutdown topside on FMB is nice, but ultimately a bit of a consolation prize. Important to note, though, they did pick up that Baron, and that is helping them take down some of these structures. They have taken down the most towers in this game, somehow with Red dominating in the map control they've had to secure 4 Drakes. They only knocked down 2 towers.
Just the 2 towers down. Oh, it's looking like fight time, Yeso.
Yeah, Croc in their back pocket. Tino's about to get here, so this is the straight 5v5. Question is, can they isolate
in the air? Like it's right before a thunderstorm? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now. They're going to break apart for now. Clear skies. Yeah?
Do you feel it coming in the air tonight?
I do feel it coming in the air tonight. Thank you so much.
That's what I like to hear.
I feel the drums too.
Oh, I love to hear it. Mike Tyson is he's with us in spirit here on this CBLOL cast. Round 3 of Split 2 in 2023. Welcome to everybody watching, by the way. Axeman and I were hanging out in chat during game 1. A lot of you coming through to watch. One of the most fun regions to watch in the world. So thanks so much for joining us here today. 2 very spicy games to kick off this weekend. Of course, INTZ with an upset victory over Cade Stars to start the day, and now Loud trying to avoid that 0-3 start. Red Canids trying to keep their winning streak going. Who is going to take it? 2,000 gold separating these teams. What do you want to see right now, Axeman, from the side of Loud?
From the side of Loud, want to see a little bit of aggression and definitely forcing the objective control. But of course, I also want to see big scaling from Canids here. The last hope of Loud is that late game scaling. He needs the Ornn item first and foremost, but he also needs just enormous CS numbers and needs to get to that level 18 Aurelion Soul powerhouse that we love watching so much. I gotta get my face really close to the screen to see the numbers. Let me check real quick. I think he's level 16 right now.
We'll get access to do.
He's getting up there. Yeah, I need glasses, man. If somebody can help me out.
Lane tier 2 is going to fall here in favor of Loud, which is more gold. They're closing that gap we just mentioned a moment ago. It was a 2,000 gold difference. Now 600. So Loud right on the heels in terms of the gold department. It is important to note, though, that Chemtech Soul does change things. That is something you don't see on the gold graph for this game, is how that changes the dynamic here between these two teams. But we're starting to group around this middle lane once again, Axeman, and we're going to get the fight here this time.
Hashtag power play diff. This is going to be the fight. Watch out for it.
Ooh, baby. It's time for Elder Dragon. Seos on the wrong side of the pit here is going to have to hit that grand entrance to buy a little bit of space. FMB not going to be able to get that engage. And Canids is just setting up to get in on this fight. Will get a little bit of vision there, and now it's Loud bottom side, Red up towards mid. And they're posturing around this Elder Dragon. Waves in favor of Loud at this moment. Robo going to charge forward, not going to get any sort of knockup. Good damage onto him early. FMB forced to flash away, courtesy of Canids, breathing fire on this Aurelion Soul. Very, very healthy Elder Dragon at this point. No real threat to kill it just yet. It looks like the fight is going to happen before we see any sort of smite expended on this neutral objective. Loud continuing to posture from the bottom side. Red biding their time. They want Loud to take whatever damage that Elder Dragon is willing to dish out. Aegis now into the pit. Seos looking to posture from up towards that blue quadrant of Red Canids. Dashing away from trouble. Elder's going down. 5,000 health here. It is going to reset, so Loud isn't going to be able to take it just yet. But it's still at half health here. What is the play? Seos biding his time, waiting over the wall, has Blast Cone available to get into this fight. And Elder will reset again. Axeman, what are we waiting for?
Either side could end with the buff this Elder provides. That's why we're waiting. There it comes!
Oh, as soon as I hand it over, they decide to go in. That's going to be the ultimate for Robo. It's not going to catch anybody as Agent gets away. But a huge ultimate there from Canids, and health bars are melting left and right. Robo backing away. That's the Vi going down. No smite for the side of Loud, and it's all going wrong. Shut down onto Root. Canids has to back away. That is going to be Elder Dragon secured for Red Canids.
Surely this has to mean the game for Red. They're going to take the resets. No, they're going to stay out. They're going to try to take down the Baron in this amount of time. If Loud were able to get this Elder, they may have been able to end the game. The Waves were in a good position for them in the side lane. For Red, no dice. They got the Dragon. They're not going to get much else, but they're going to try to take the Baron down. Yay, so they're taking it down.
I think we are staring down the barrel of a Loud 0-3 start. We've known for years about the international play hangover that so many teams deal with, especially the ones that go deep in tournaments. But even for Loud here, I mean, let's look at this replay first before I can think of it. All starts with this ult from Robo that doesn't catch anyone.
Ornal just does nothing right on Lamb Trespit. Isn't able to connect on anything, but at the end of the day, they just don't need it. The sustain damage coming out of Titan is more than enough to take down everybody on Loud and force them out. Look at those crits coming out of Aphelios. Holy cow. Red and blue guns dealing the damage, big AoE damage too. Tinones tries on the backside, he's not able to get it, but Baron, it goes down for Red, and now they're in the side lanes, trying to work their magic, get some gold over on their side. They want to force those waves out from inside their base as well. Yeso try to get control of the map back here. They'll take down the structures on the side, get as much gold out of this power play as they can. They're up 6,000 gold right now, and they'll try to expand that lead moving forward. They're on to the inhib turret, Yeso.
Oh man, big problems here for Loud, and I mean, shades of what we saw from Natuno last Sunday up against Liberty with that huge Infernum ultimate that broke open the game.
And he teleported, could end here!
Yeah, it could be, but that was a beautiful Moonlight Vigil in that fight to absolutely decimate Loud, and while Tino survived, wasn't enough left, and now Red are looking for the base. All 5 of them sieging onto these Nexus towers. It's gonna be Rock'em Sock'em robots here inside of this Loud base. Huge ultimate there from Tinoz, but the laser strike comes out, and down goes Croc. Tinoz is dead as well. Just 2 members of the Loud lineup remaining.
That's it!
Going to be enough. The Nexus will fall, and Red Canids